is the Born of Levi Experience on GOCC Media.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Peace and blessings, family. I pray everybody's doing blessed. Please do me a favor on your way in. Hit that like button on your way in. Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High, Ahaya, in the name of His Son, Yeshaya Mashiach, our Lord, our Savior, and our King, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. But we're going to get started nonetheless. But please, like I said, do me a favor. Hit that like button on your way in. And let's get the show started.
This is the Born of Levi Experience on GOCC Media.
You know, all our lives we've been told that we was kings and queens, royalty. It's time to get back to that. I just want to evolve. Back when I wanted a gun that didn't leave evidence at all. A 38 special, the type of pistol when it shoot, no shells will fall. But now if I carry a pistol, it's gonna probably be Peter or Paul. There's things I had to resolve. Like why my people not achieving? The hoods are in poverty, filled up with bodies of our people dying and bleeding. The cops abusers, the music producers, and that's what I call a policeman. Cause they program us to give us the beats without any logical reason. I'm asking God, what is the meaning? What are we doing? Like why my people always set back? All we talk is money, busting straps. Like wasn't we made for more than just that? I opened the Bible and said we was kings and priests, but then we went off track. It's time we go back to be kings. We started as royals, kinda like Bojack. And plus, I started thinking this as well. Where am I going after I'm dead and gone? Is it heaven or hell? Should I go through this pain in life to go to hell for more pain and stress? Or change my life, do what's right, go to heaven and be blessed? You tell me what's best, but I choose righteousness. Righteousness, righteous, 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 righteousness. Righteousness, righteous, 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 righteousness. Righteousness, righteous, 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 righteousness. Righteousness, yeah. I don't want no money or no check. I'ma keep keeping this righteousness. Y'all in the club and y'all wanna flex, but I'ma keep keeping this righteousness. Righteousness, 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 righteousness. Yeah, righteousness, righteousness, righteous, righteous, righteous. From the dust I emerged. Back when I was smoking 10 deep in a small room, living absurd. Lighting the incense too, had the whole room clouded with herb. But now if my room is clouded with smoke, you know that it's frankincense and myrrh. These are the things that I purge. Removing all of my addictions, cause the government put the drugs in our environment to put us into submission. Now my neighborhood's tragic, filled up with addicts, and now all the men are in prison. And we still got the nerve to glorify selling drugs and popping prescriptions. We really moving ridiculous. Wait, but it get worse than that. When we in depression, it's really just demon possession, and there comes a hearse with that. Killing ourselves, all just so we can get high, but what is the worth in that? It's funny how we using mollies and Percocets, but what is the perks in that? Listen, we living in the last days, and when God asks us what we did with the life that He gave us, what we gon' say? Did we wasted our time doing crime, smoking, getting high, trying to flex? Or we changed our life, did what's right, and turned away from all the mess? You tell me what's best, but I choose righteousness. Righteousness, righteous, 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 righteousness. Righteousness, righteous, 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 righteousness. Righteousness, righteous, 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 righteousness. Righteousness, yeah. I don't want no money or no check. I'ma keep keeping this righteousness. Y'all in the club and y'all wanna flex, but I'ma keep keeping this righteousness.
Yes. Righteousness, righteousness, righteousness. Once again, shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Once again, all praises be to the Most High, Ahaya, Ba'ashem Yeshaya, Rawat Kwadash, right? Thank you guys for coming in on a Thursday for another edition of the Born of Levi Experience. I am your host, Deacon Hazak. Shalom, peace and blessings throughout the four corners of the earth. And y'all know how we do it every week, brothers and sisters. If I'm coming in nice and clear, let me see them qualms in the chat, please drop them qualms in the chat. I need to see them qualms in the chat, brothers and sisters. Help a brother out. I want to make sure the stream is coming in nice and clear. Help a brother out. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Come on. I need to see them qualms, brothers and sisters. All right. I'm starting to see the qualm. All right. All right, good. How's everybody doing in the room? I pray everybody had a blessed week thus far. And can y'all see it already? We already at Thursday. It felt like I was just before y'all yesterday, man. But you know, time is moving. The Most High is speeding up time. And I know you guys see the title of tonight's broadcast. The title of tonight's topic is Understanding Sleep Paralysis. Yes. Understanding sleep paralysis and how to overcome it. Right? We're going to talk about it. Man. And I know that it's going to be such a blessing, such a fruitful conversation. And I pray that somebody is delivered through this. Somebody is, get some understanding through this and understand what it is. And through this broadcast, fight. Okay? Not allowing these spiritual entities. I don't want to just say, I'm gonna just say these spiritual entities, right? Win. Because we're gonna get to the bottom of it. We're gonna find out what it is. Because for the life of me, I don't understand why doctors and scientists, right? Why they won't just come out and say what it is, but they gotta explain it off. And we're gonna go into some reading. We're gonna see, right? But once again, shalom, peace, and blessings. Before I start, you understand what I'm saying? I want to do something different. I'm gonna start with finding the stupor, right? Every week I used to always go into that, but for some reason I haven't gone into it as of late. But I figure, why not start the show with some stupor updates, right? Some understanding of what's going on with this world before we jump right into the topic. Because I'm telling you guys, y'all don't want to miss this conversation, right? The information that I went into, and it's such a blessing to go into this information because we actually went into it this past Sabbath, right? During class. And, a lot of information was brought out. And I said, you know what? Let me just continue the conversation into Thursday. Because it's so much that we could talk about. And I'm pretty sure that you guys have experiences too. But we're going to talk about it nonetheless, right? We're going to talk about some things that's happening in the news, right? Real quick. Where is it at? Where did I find this? I want to show this this video real quick, man. Listen, man, I gotta show this because this is what's happening in New York City, man. Y'all think New York City is the place to be. I'm trying. And speaking of sleep paralysis, man, New York City is overtaken by demons, bro. I'm telling you guys right now, this is not a game. This is not a joke. I'm talking about real life demon possession in broad daylight, right? Let me show this, man. Let's go right into it, man. Finding the stupor, as we usually do every week. Shout out to Officer Zachariah Hebrew Fresh, who sent me this. Let me see if I'm gonna enlarge it because this is crazy. And y'all see the caption: just another day in New York City. Like, this is supposed to be regular. I don't think it's supposed to be regular. I don't think this is supposed to be a regular thing. But let's take a look at it together. Whoa, this is happening in New York City. All right, hold on. I gotta. So apparently, whoa. This is New York, y'all. This is New York City. Y'all see the demon on this person? Is this real? Y'all see what's going on in New York City? This is insane. Demon possession. I'll just show it again real quick. I know it's. I'll try to keep it like this, but demon possession, y'all. I want to show y'all what he did on the floor. He's like, look at the demon. And the demon jumps on a random car. Starts beating the person's car. This is New York City, y'all. That's what's happening in New York City. And let me tell y'all something. That's just a glimpse of what's to come. Like you see what just happened with that person possessed with that demon just now. Imagine that times 100. All the stuff that they're putting in people, all the stuff that they spraying in the air. He's just one of thousands. He's just one of thousands. This is what's happening in New York City, y'all. And I'm pretty sure there's more, but I feel like over here in New York City, man, it's like the worst when it comes to demon possession. Right? But on to other news. I got to show this. This was very interesting as well, too. Shout out to North Carolina. Right? So, and they just passed this too. Let me make this bigger so you guys could see it as well. So, shout out to the city of, or the state of North Carolina. The General Assembly of North Carolina. Senate Bill 579 ratified. It says an act to increase the punishment for disseminating obscenity, right? To clarify restitution for sexual exploitation of a minor, right? And to modify certain offenses related to public morality and decency, excuse me. My vocabulary is a little thing, right? But here it is where North Carolina, they're now increasing the limits of punishment for those who exploit minors and public nudity and all of this stuff, right? Let me see. Let me read it where it says this section becomes effective December 1st. So December 1st, this is happening, right? It says restitution for sexual exploitation of a minor. So they put it out on the books now. Now they coming after the pedophiles, right? Right? It says the court shall determine the full amount of the victim's losses for the costs incurred as a proximity result of the offense, right? Physical, medical, transportation, loss of income, right? What else they have here? So much going on over here. It says it shall be unlawful for any person 18 years of age or older, right? Corporation or intentional disseminating obscenity or absentee, a person, firm, or corporation disseminates obscenity. I keep messing up that word. Within the meaning of this article, if he or it shall delivers or provides agree. So they coming after these people, man. It shall be unlawful for any person 18 age of older, right? Knowingly or intentionally create, buy, procure, possess obscene material. So they're making it. They're making stricter laws. Shout out to North Carolina, man. They're making stricter laws to protect minors from sexual exploitation and the letter people and stuff like that. So shout out to them for putting this on the books, and hopefully other cities follow suit, because as you can see, New York City is in dire need of it. New York City is definitely in dire need of some of these laws to be put on the book, but I don't think they want to do that for New York City, right? In other news, real quick, I gotta show this too. Y'all remember when Biden tried to do this before, right? and Congress shut it down when he was trying to expunge all of the student loan debt. But now he came back in it, and how convenient he's doing this, that elections is right around the corner. So it says Biden approves $9 billion in student loan debt relief. Here's what to know. Let me know in the comment section if you guys believe that this is gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. This is something that we're just gonna have to wait and see, because October 1st came around the corner and they already sent out all of the bills for repayment. So if you owe student loans, right, you had a 3-year break of paying student loans, but now they right back at your door. And he rolls this out. President Joe Biden announced this week that his administration has signed off on $9 billion. His administration. Now, we got to see if Congress fights it or whatever the case is. $9 billion in student loan debt forgiveness for only 125,000 people across the United States. So for this $9 billion, only 125 people can get access to this. But let me know in the comment section if y'all believe this, man, because I don't believe it one bit. I mean, it could just be, it could just be me. I could be a pessimist right now, but, I don't know. What good has this place has done for any of us, man? I mean, it has done some good, but I don't know, man. You guys let me know what you guys think, man. But I'm not gonna hold my breath. I'm definitely not gonna hold my breath, right? But nonetheless, I'd had to get that out the way, right? We see what's going on in the world. We see what's happening in New York. We see what your president is trying to do. But now let's talk about this topic: understanding sleep paralysis, right? And how to overcome it, right? And I remember from a young age experiencing sleep paralysis, right? And I know a lot of you guys who are watching this stream right now, or who may fall upon this stream at a later time, right? You guys also probably have experienced it, or you're probably still experiencing it and still dealing with it, right? Like I said, I remember at a young age experiencing sleep paralysis. I used to be scared out of my mind. Didn't know what it was, right? It's like you're sleeping and you're about to wake up, and then you just feel, your body is just numb. Like you can't move. You have no control of your body. You want to wake up, but you can't wake up, right? You like you're looking around and you're trying to scream, but no one can hear you. I don't know if you guys ever dealt with that, right? Oh, wait, real quick. The Andrea Show says they cleared over $100K on my loans. I owe 40 more. Okay, praise him. Well, let me clap that up. Okay, maybe there is some hope. Maybe there is some hope. Make me a believer. Forging the Kingdom says I can see them forgiving all student loan debt if you take the mark. Oh, that's a crazy twist. I didn't put that into perspective as well too. But all right, well, praise. All right, so let's get back to the topic. I just wanted to read that. But shout out to you, the Andrea Show, for for sharing that information. Maybe there is some hope at the end of this narrow tunnel, right? But like I said, I remember experiencing that even up until my early teens. I'm experiencing it from my early teens. I don't remember experiencing that as a child. Praise the Most High, I never had to go through that as a child. But in my early teens into my early adulthood, I used to always experience that. And it used to happen so frequent where I would go to sleep and just expect it to happen. And I didn't really know what it was, right? But it's not until I got older and, started reading more and started reading the scriptures more. And then I came into the truth and I found out exactly what that was. And along with sleep paralysis, we're going to talk about this as well, too. What younger people, I remember when I was a little bit younger, what we would call it was called wet dreams, right? But I don't know what they call it now. I'd probably call it the same thing. But all of these things go hand in hand, where you would have, an explicit dream, basically, in your mind, right? Now, the question is there a correlation? Are these two related? I'm here to tell you, yes, these two things are related, right? So, but we're going to focus on sleep paralysis to begin with, right? Like I said, a lot of you experienced it probably growing up, are probably, like I said, are probably still experiencing it. You're laying down or you're sleeping and all of a sudden you just can't move. You don't have no control of any of your muscles. You can't move your arm. You can't even scream if you wanted to for help. It's like a struggle. And on top of that, it's like you feel a pressure on your chest. Let me know if I'm just speaking to the wind. Right? But these are the things that I've experienced. And doing research, right? The medical field, they don't have no real information. Matter of fact, let's do this real quick. Let's read what the so-called experts claim this sleep paralysis phenomenon is. I'm going to go here. Where am I? So we're going to go to a reputable source, as reputable as it could be. And I'm using WebMD. Okay, for a lot of you guys who like to self-diagnose, WebMD, right? So WebMD, and this is crazy. This was published or medically reviewed. I don't even want to attempt to pronounce her name, by Jabin Begum, MD, on April 28th this year, 2023, right? So now, is sleep paralysis a symptom of a serious problem? This is what they're asking, right? Let me enlarge this. Let me see. So you guys could see it as well, right? It says, is sleep paralysis a symptom of a serious problem? So now let's see how they explain it off. I'm trying to read this and read the comments at the same time, because I'm seeing somebody saying some stuff on there. I definitely gonna have to go back into the comments, because like I said, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have experienced this, right? So we're gonna talk about it. Sleep researchers conclude that in most cases, sleep paralysis is simply a sign that your body is not moving smoothly through the stages of sleep. That's how they're explaining it off, right? Rarely is sleep paralysis linked to deep underlying psychiatric problems. So they're saying it's rarely linked to a psychiatric problem, but it's more than just a psychiatric problem. Of course, it's happening in the psyche, which is the mind, but it's more to that, right? It says, over the centuries, symptoms of sleep paralysis have been described in many ways and often attributed to an evil presence, unseen night demons in ancient times. So clearly they're telling us in ancient times, this is what it was known as. They didn't explain it off as just having some type of mental illness, or, you know what, your body is just not resting well. And through this article, you could already see how the minds of the people in the world has shifted from knowing that there was unseen powers outside of the physical realm. Right? In ancient times, people believed that there was a God. In ancient times, people believed that demons were real. In ancient times, people believed in the devil. But now all of a sudden, it's like these things or these forms of thought is becoming more mythological as we move towards AI, as we move towards technology. It's as if God does not exist. God don't exist. Spirits don't exist. Demonic presence don't exist. It's all in your mind. But it's all about AI, right? Matter of fact, AI is getting ready to write your new Bible. Did you guys know that? Let's continue reading. It says, I'll read this paragraph again. It says, over the centuries, symptoms of sleep paralysis have been described in many ways and often attributed to an evil presence, unseen night demons in ancient times. The old hag in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, and alien abductors. Almost every culture throughout history has had stories of shadowy, evil creatures that terrify helpless humans at night. It says almost every culture. Now all of a sudden it's not. It says people have long sought explanations for this mysterious sleep time paralysis and the accompanying feeling of terror. So now, what is sleep paralysis? Says WebMD. Sleep paralysis is a feeling of being conscious but unable to move. Right? Like we said in the beginning, like a lot of us experience that. We all have felt this feeling before. And some of you guys are probably still dealing with this. But trust me, there is an answer on how to overcome this. It says, it occurs when a person passes between stages of wakefulness, and sleep. So it's like an in-between. Like you're about to wake up, but you're still sleeping. So your body falls, or your mind falls in a space in between. That's what they're saying. During these transitions, you may be unable to move or speak for a few seconds, up to a few minutes. Some people may also feel pressure or a sense of choking. Sleep paralysis may accompany other sleep disorders such as narcolepsy. So now they're trying to say that this is a disorder. Sleep paralysis is linked to narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is someone who you could just be talking to them, and as you talking to them, yeah, what's going on? And they just knock out right in front of you, right? Narcolepsy is an overpowering need to sleep caused by a problem with the brain's ability to regulate sleep, right? So this is what the professionals, right, are saying, and the professionals and the quote unquote experts in this matter. What is sleep paralysis? So now they're saying what causes it. Just why or how it happens isn't clear. You know why it isn't clear for you guys? Because you guys fail to understand the spiritual side of this life. You can't just understand this life from just a physical plane. We're both spiritual and physical beings. But that's one thing that science will never explain, is the spiritual side of existence. Because science was created to disprove that there is a God. So of course, anything connected to a God in a spiritual sense is all in your mind, basically, right? It says just how this happens isn't clear. Researchers believe sleep paralysis is caused by a this by a disturbed rapid eye movement cycle, because it mostly happens as people are falling into or coming out of REM, which is rapid eye movement sleep. They say that's like the deepest stages of sleep, right? It says during that stage, their brains normally paralyze their muscles anyway. Okay, this is getting weird. So they don't act out their dreams. So I guess that part of your brain paralyzes the rest of your body, so that way if you're dreaming about something, you don't act it out. Okay, I guess. I don't know. But during sleep paralysis, the sleeper is awake or half awake, and so is aware they cannot move. So they're saying that something in our brains which causes our brain to send a signal to the rest of our body to not move while we're sleeping. I mean, is there some truth to that? I don't know. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor. But why aren't they speaking about the spiritual sense? Because we all know, like I said, for those of you who do know, right? This body is the physical. Residing in our bodies, in our heads, in our brains is our spirit. That's where your spirit is. Your spirit is connected in your mind, in your brain, right? And let me tell y'all something. The spirit never sleeps. Your physical body may need sleep. Always understand that. You feel tired. That's your physique. That's the physical body, the physical man, the physical woman. You're gonna need sleep, but your spirit doesn't sleep. While your body is sleeping, your spirit, your mind is still active. This is where dreams come from. This is how the Most High speaks to men in their dreams. Sometimes, and we're gonna go into that scripture as well too. So we guys don't get so caught up in your dreams as well. Right? So they're not explaining to us that, of course, your body, your physical body needs rest, but your spirit, does it rest? No, it doesn't rest, because all of our spirits come from the Most High, and the Most High never sleeps. So our spirits is a part of the Most High's essence. So if his essence doesn't sleep, so why should our spirit sleep? Right? So now, that was their attempt to try to explain sleep paralysis. Right? Let's get another source. Let's get another source. That was WebMD. Here's another source. Now let's go to another trusted source, so to speak. Right? Wikipedia, or Wikipedia, however you want to pronounce it. Sleep paralysis. Let's read together. I hope you guys could see it, right? Sleep paralysis. It says, for the normal sleep behavior of body paralysis during dreams. So, okay, this is another source to take you to rapid eye movement, right? It says sleep paralysis is a state during waking up and falling asleep, in which one is conscious but in a complete state of full body paralysis. During an episode, this is what they're saying, one may hallucinate. This is what they're saying, you're hallucinating. You could hallucinate, hear, feel, or see things that are not there. So now the question is, why would the mind... Let's try to paint this picture. Here's the thing. Why would your mind hallucinate, or especially if you're not under any substance, you're not under any drugs, right? You're sober minded. Now, why would your mind hallucinate, hear, feel, or see things that's not there? How could your mind possibly do that? I mean, we're awake. There's 24 hours in a day. Some of us are awake for more than half of that. And I'm gonna ask y'all: have y'all ever hallucinated during the time you're awake? Did you guys hear or see things or feel things that wasn't there? I don't know. I'm just trying to make it make sense. It says, which often results in fear. Of course, you're going to be afraid of something that you've never experienced before. Episodes generally last no more than a few minutes. It can recur multiple times or occur as a single episode, right? Let's see. Here's how they still explain it in a way. It says, the condition may occur in those who are otherwise healthy, or those with narcolepsy, or it may run in families as a result of specific genetic traits, and I don't believe that. I don't believe this is genetic, right? But there is a such thing as familiar spirits that follow families, so I could understand that if you want to say it in that sense. The condition can be triggered by sleep deprivation, someone who lacks sleep, psychological stress, or abnormal sleep cycles. The underlying mechanisms is believed to involve a dysfunction in REM sleep. Now here we getting to the meat of it. Lucid dreams. And remember this, we're going to talk about this right here. Lucid dreams. What is that? Lucid dreaming does not affect the chances of sleep paralysis, but some lucid dreamers use this as a method of having a lucid dream, right? So now, this is what they're also explaining what it could be without tapping into the spiritual aspect of what sleep paralysis is. It says, okay, more symptoms. The main symptom of sleep paralysis is being unable to move, speak, during awake, Imagined sounds such as humming, hissing, static, zapping, beeping noises are reported during sleep paralysis. I wonder what those sounds are, huh? Other sounds such as voices. Now they're getting somewhere. Other sounds such as voices, whispers, roars are also experienced. What is that? Other sounds such as voices, whispers, and roars are also experienced. So your mind just made that up? Is that what you're trying to say, scientists? It has also been known that one may feel pressure on their chest and intense pain in their head during an episode, right? People also have sensations of being dragged out of bed. How many of you experienced that? Because I have. Or of flying, numbness, and the feelings of electric tingles. All these I could attest of remembering. And vibrations running through their body. These are all of the symptoms of sleep paralysis if you have ever been in that. And I'm telling you guys right now that all this is real. It's not something that's made up in your mind. These are spiritual attacks while you're sleeping. I'm going to just jump right and say it because they're not going to tell you. They're just saying, like, there's nothing to see here. Okay, some of you guys may hear humming or hissing or somebody whispering in your ear or roars or growls. It's normal. It's just your brain playing tricks on you. Now the question is, why in the world would your brain do that to you? Like what? Right? Sleep paralysis may include hallucinations such as an intruding presence of or a dark figure in the room, suffocating, or the individual feeling a sense of terror, accompanied by a feeling of pressure on one's chest and difficult breathing. This, my friends, my brothers and sisters, like I said, these are signs of demonic entities while you are sleeping. Okay, that's exactly what it is. I want to show you this. Look, I didn't show this, but look at this. Look at this picture right here. Y'all see this image right here? What y'all see here? We see a woman sleeping, and it looks like a little goblin on her chest. So, and this okay, The Nightmare by Swiss artist Henry Fousley. I don't know. I hope Fousley or Fousley, whatever it is. And this was painted in 1781. It's thought to be a depiction of sleep paralysis perceived as a demonic visitation. So this was known in the early 1600s. 1700s. It was known that during sleep paralysis, it's a demonic presence that is dealing with mankind. So now, why all of a sudden it turned from that to, oh, you're just hallucinating. You're just hallucinating. Your mind made you hear those sounds. Your mind made you feel numb. Your mind made you, you know what? That's your brain is just activating a part of itself to not allow your body to move while you're dreaming. But also when that happens, you're going to hear hissing, you're going to hear roars, you're going to hear whispers in your ear, and you're going to feel something on your chest, and you like something that's trying to suffocate the life out of you. So, like I said, if they're not going to tell you, I'm going to tell you. Sleep paralysis is a sign of a demonic presence while you're sleeping. That's exactly what it is. It tells us in the book of Enoch that the spirits that came out of the giants, for those of you who don't believe in giants and don't believe that giants ever walked the earth, okay, you cannot believe me, but I believe that. I seen the skeleton. We could find records of the skeletal remains, right? And how else do you explain demonic presence? But in the book of Enoch, it tells you that the spirits that came out of the giants, since the Most High did not create them, and their spirit came not from him, because all of our spirits, human beings, all of our spirit come from the Most High. But when the angels came down and slept with women and created giants, right? The Most High didn't send a soul through that union. So the Most High said, because I created it not, and there's no place for it in the heavens, on earth they shall remain, and they shall become evil spirits on the earth. And what do you think their purpose is? To do battle, to do evil, to do wickedness, to cause hurt, and to afflict the sons and daughters of mankind. Right? So these evil spirits now, not only do they attack during the day, they even attack you during the night. Sleep paralysis. Right? Look at this. I also have to show this as well too. And shout out to Officer Yara from the New Jersey body, who actually gave this lesson right at the Shabbat. My bandmate, right? He gave this lesson about sleep paralysis, and he actually went into this definition. He went into the etymology of the definition for the word nightmare. And I'm gonna read it with you guys, and I want you guys to see it as well. And I always told you guys, always use this website, Etymala Online. Or the etymology dictionary. Okay, so use this website, man, and get a broader understanding of the words that you're using, or right. So now let's look at it. The definition or the etymology of the word nightmare. So this is from the 13th century, right? This is what a nightmare was understood to be, right? For those of you guys who have nightmares, nightmare. It says an evil female spirit. An evil female spirit afflicting men in their sleep with a feeling of what? Suffocation. What we just read about sleep paralysis. Compounding from night plus mare. Also says here, goblin that causes nightmares. It says a goblin. A goblin? This? Look like a goblin to me. If I don't really know what a goblin looked like, but if this is a goblin, if this is a goblin, then yeah, it's a goblin. Because according to the etymology of the word, this is what a goblin does. Huh? Goblin. So a goblin is a real thing. Let's go back to etymology.com and finish reading. So it says, a goblin that causes nightmares. Incubus. The meaning shifted mid-16th century from the incubus to the suffocating sensation that it causes, sense of any bad dream, right? So now let's look at the etymology of incubus. Stick with me, y'all. Incubus. It says imaginary being or demon. Make it bigger for you guys to see it. Imaginary being or a demon, credited for causing nightmares. Right? And in male form, consorting with women in their sleep. What do they mean consorting? What is that? What do they? There's nothing to talk about here. What are they doing to us in our sleep? And remember when I spoke about growing up having these sexually explicit dreams? That's what it is. Okay? 12th century from late Latin, incubus, right? And also compare succubus. Let's read it. Succubus. And this was known in the late 14th century. This was common knowledge, brothers and sisters. Now all of a sudden it's a figment of your imagination. Demon fable to have sexual intercourse with humans in their sleep. Late 14th century. Right? A strumpet. A strumpet. Also applied to a fiend, generally in female form. having sexual connection with men in their sleep. This is from succubare, to lie under, right? From assimilated form of sub. Okay, so it's just breaking down the word. The altered form in English appears to be after incubus, and it gives a Latin masculine form to a word for a demon generally felt as female. So it's two, it's a female spirit and a male spirit. And we understand through how Elder Ricard broke it down yesterday. Was it yesterday? Or this past Sabbath, I should say. The Baphomet, how Satan is both male and female, right? It says succuba is attested in English. Okay, all right, that's on that. So basically, nightmares is formed by demons, right? And their main purpose is to have sexual intercourse with men and with women in their sleep, causing you to sin in the spirit. A lot of you guys didn't know that. A lot of you guys didn't understand that that's how these demons cause us to sin in our sleep. Yeah, growing up, we used to think, yeah, yo, it's nothing. I just had this dream. It was a wild dream. It's crazy, yo. You thinking that you just dreaming and it's pleasure. No, it's wrong. It's sin. Matter of fact, you're dealing with demons in your sleep. Those are demons. That's not just a figment of your imagination. Sleep paralysis, all of these things are tied into each other, causing you to sin in your sleep, in the spirit. So, we're getting somewhere here. So this is what the professionals will not tell you. Okay? This is what the professionals and the experts, they're not going to tell you what these are, but here it is from the 14th century, 15th century, 16th century. People understood what was happening to them in their sleep. Right? Demonic possession, a demonic entity trying to enter, because how deceptive they are to try to enter you while you sleep. Not when you're fully awake and your physical is fully awake, because a lot of the times you're not gonna do or act out these things that you're seeing in your mind. But in your dream, while you're sleeping, in a realm where you're not too familiar with, because in that realm you're only there for a couple of hours throughout the night, and we're awake most of the time in a physical. Like I said, 24 hours in a day. Some of us are up for at least 16 of those hours. And probably the other 4 of those hours you're probably sleeping. If you get 8 hours of sleep. Some of us get 4 hours of sleep, like me sometimes. 4 to 5 hours. I'm good with 5 hours of sleep. 6, I'm really good. Anything over that, I feel crazy. I feel groggy, head hurting. So give me about 5 to 6 hours a night. I'll be good. Right? But think about it. You're in the physical realm for more than half the day. So now, how convenient in a realm or in a space where you're not used to operating, which is your sleep. That's when they come in to try to convince you to do things you would never do. And I'm gonna ask y'all, how many of y'all have ever had these wild dreams, and then in the dream you're like, yo, I would never do anything like this in real life. Are you kidding me? But that's what they do. That's what these demons do. Because why? No good can come from them. Only filth, and it's crazy. Only filth, distorted images, weird things happening? Because those are demons. And that's the thing. You didn't plant those images there. Your brain didn't conceive what you're seeing in that dream. Who's conceiving it? Look. Hit that like button, brothers and sisters. Hit that like button on your way in. Do me that favor. Right? I want to show something. Let me go back here. I want to show y'all this because I was doing some reading. I was able to do some reading a little bit earlier today, and I found this very interesting. And this is going to help with us understanding what this sleep paralysis thing is and how to actually overcome it, man. So look at this, right? Remember I told you lucid dreams? We're going to talk about that, right? So what is a lucid dream? All of these things tie in together. Lucid dreams, sleep paralysis, right? But they call it lucid dreams, but I don't really like using the word lucid, especially in dreams where you know, where you're it's evident that you know that you're in a dream and you're able to control certain things in your dreams, right? But, let me plug the power in. All right, so here we go. All right. So let's understand what this is. Lucid dreams. Let me know if y'all following me. Right? Y'all here with me? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, I see Con. I appreciate you. All right. So now, lucid dreams. It says, I wish I could make it bigger without losing anything, but I have to do it like this. Okay. So it says, a lucid dream is a type of dream in which the dreamer becomes aware that they are dreaming while they are dreaming. I'm going to read that again. It says, a lucid dream is a type of dream in which the dreamer becomes aware that they are dreaming while they are dreaming. Right. It says it is a trainable skill. I don't want to deal with all of that. So basically, in a lucid dream, you're able to understand that you're in a dream. And most of us, some of us, you could have a dream and know that this is a dream. And you could be able to decipher, okay, this is real, this is not, this is real, this is not. But the reason why I'd say it's trainable, your spirit being is aware. And on the right hand side, how that's possible, through fasting and prayer. Building up your spirit to be able to ward off evil spirits in your dream and in your thoughts, in your mind. So when Christ says fasting is a tool, some of these spirits don't come out throughout much fasting. That's what he was talking about, to be able to conquer up here, your mind. Look, it says, I want you guys to be able to see this too. It says during a lucid dream, I'm over here for those of you guys looking, right? Hold on. Yeah. During a lucid dream, the dreamer may gain some amount of control over the dream characters, narrative, or environment. Although this control of dream content is not the salient feature of lucid dreaming. So I don't know about you guys. Some of you guys ever had a dream where you just materialize something out of thin air? I've done that all the time. Like, like I gotta get out of here. And you just fly somewhere else to escape the danger, right? So what I really wanted to get is here where they speak about the etymology, right? So it says the term lucid dream was coined by Dutch author, so this is where it came from. Psychiatrist Frederick van Eden. This is what he looked like. So this is most likely German, Dutch. They said Dutch, right? So he coined the term lucid dream in his 1913 article, A Study of Dreams. And I read this. Well, not the whole thing, but the key points, right? So he wrote a 1913 article, A Study of Dreams, right? He read this because he wanted to understand why he was having these attacks while he was sleeping, or what was happening in his dreams. He wanted to understand. He wanted to know what was happening because, of course, but prior to his time, everybody understood what the sleep paralysis was, right? But before I go there, let me go back to Wikipedia. I'm going to read this. So it says, though descriptions of dreamers being aware that they are dreaming predated the article, Van Eden studied his own dreams between January 20th, 1898 and December 26, 1912. And it says, Van Eden created names for 7 different types of dreams he experienced based on the data he collected. So he gave 7 different types of dreams. There's 7 different type of names. He said there's you can have an initial dream, right? A pathological dreams, ordinary dreams, vivid dreams, demonical dreams, right? General dream sensation and lucid dreams. So when I read this right here, let me highlight this. Demonical dreams. I was like, yo, I want to know what he was like, what he found out through his research or what he was dealing with, right? So I actually went and I found the article, right? A Study of Dreams, right? So let me read a little bit of it because there's a lot, but I'm not going to read all of it because it's going to take up the whole show, right? But what page? I'm going to go to page 4. This is where I started reading. So in page 4, right here, let me make it bigger. How do you make it bigger? Hopefully this is big enough for everybody. Okay. So I'm going to start over here, but I'm not going to read too much, just some of it. It says, in the 5th type, the symbolic or mocking dreams, the characteristics element is one which I call demonical. I am afraid this word will arouse some murmurs of disapproval because you could imagine around this time they probably was trying to stray away from the understanding of demons in dreams. It's just more so a figment of your imagination. He says, I am afraid this word will arouse some murmurs or of disapproval, or at least some smiles or snares. Yet I think I can successfully defend the use of the term. So through his research, he said, I can defend that these are demonic attacks while you're dreaming. He says, I will readily concede at once that the real existence of beings whom we may call demons is problematic, and yet men of science find the conception very useful and convenient. I hope to satisfy even the most skeptical of my audience by defining the expression demonical thus. I call demonical those phenomena which produce on us the impression of being invented or arranged by intelligent beings of a very low moral order. Intelligent beings, because that's what they really are, intelligent. They have understanding and knowledge and things that we have no clue of. Demons, because they were here before us, before the flood, So he explains that these demons, they are intelligent beings of a very low moral order. And I like how he framed this, because there is no morality in them. That's the reason why they were destroyed. There was no ounce of good in them. That's why the Most High, when he seen them, he couldn't see himself in them and had to destroy them. Right? And it says, to me, it seems that the great majority of dreams reported by Fraud, right, and his adherents and used for the building up of the elaborate theory belong to this type. It may indeed be called a bold deed to introduce the symbolism of dreams into the scientific world. This is Fraud's great achievement. So they didn't want to mix the two, the scientific and the spiritual, right? But there was one part that I really wanted to read. Where is it? Let me see. Because he's speaking a lot about that. But so he's basically explaining that the reason why he calls these type of dreams or sleep paralysis or a form of lucid dreaming demonical dreams. He says it is in this class also that the erotic element, or rather the obscene elements, plays such an important part. And it is no wonder that some adherents of Fraud School, studying only this kind of dream, come to the conclusion that all dreams have a sexual origin. This is what they were saying in Fraud School, that all dreams have a form of sexual origin, but negating what's causing these type of dreams. Remember, we went into the etymology of the word nightmare, incubus, succubus, demons that produces these type of dreams to deal with mankind in their dreams and to cause them to sin in their spirit. See, this is what they're saying. It says, let me see. I want to show here. I had highlighted it, but I took it off by looking for something. Okay, so all right, right here. This is what it is. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to read this paragraph. Follow along with me. It says, to me, the word subconscious indicating a thinking entity, right? A thinking entity. So in your subconscious, there is another subconscious or a thinking entity that is also in your mind as well. That's playing on your mind. Follow me. It says, to me, the word subconscious indicating a thinking entity is just as mysterious, just as unscientific, just as occult as the word demon, right? In my view, it is accurate to say only that in our dreams, we see images and experience events for which our own mind, our person, as we remember it, cannot be held responsible. So he's saying that in our dreams, we see events and experience happen and we see things happening in our dreams, but our minds, our physical, like our own mind, is not responsible for producing these type of imagery. This is what he's saying. Okay, it says it cannot be held responsible, and which must therefore come from some unknown source. So if our own minds are not producing what we're seeing in these dreams, what's producing it? And this is the reason why he called them demonical dreams, because it's a demon that's influencing your subconscious to force you to do or to make you do things in the spirit. They sleep. When Enoch said these evil spirits, they thirst not, they hunger not, and they sleep not, they're always on the clock. They're always trying to find a way to get into you. Literally. All right? Okay, let's keep going. It says, about the general character of these sources, however, we may form some judgment and I feel justified in calling them in the dreams of this type demonical, that is of low moral order. So he's saying the scientific world, they don't want to call it this, but this is what I'm calling it, because I know for a fact that my mind cannot produce the images and the scenarios that I'm being forced to see in these nightmares, in these dreams. Where is it coming from? So he said it had to be coming from a highly intelligent being of a low moral estate or a low moral order. That's what demons are. Very intelligent, but very low in the moral order. Okay. What page I want? This is such a great read, but there was more that I wanted to get. So, all right, let me see. He also talks about what we was talking about, these dreams of the lucid dreams, where it brings you into fornication and all of these things, right? So it said lucid dreams. Okay, this is where, all right, never. All right, let me find exactly where I was reading earlier. Listen, I'm gonna show you this, and then we're gonna get to the meat of it. What page was I on? I want you to see something. Okay. Okay. Okay, here it goes. Here it is. Look at this. I'm going to read this paragraph. Right? It says, in the symbolic dreams, the sleeper, so he calls it symbolic dreams, is basically nightmares, right? Same thing. It says, in the symbolic dreams, the sleeper is teased or puzzled or harassed by various more or less weird, uncanny, obscene, right, luxurious or diabolical inventions. Y'all, I know a lot of us in here experience dreams where it's like you can't make sense of it. Like, it's so weird. Like this, it's nothing. Everything is eerie. Like this don't even belong here. Like different scenarios, puzzles, being chased. Right. This is what these demons do. Right. It says he has to walk in a slaughterhouse or among corpses. He finds everything besmeared with blood or excrement. He is drawn into obscene, erotic, or horrible scenes, right? In which he even takes an active part, right? And I remember, and I remember growing, while having some of these nightmares, and like I said earlier, you having these dreams and like, yo, I would never do this in real life. Like, what? But they get you. It's like their whole, like these demons' whole purpose is to get you to partake in their filth. That's all they're doing. But there's a way to overcome that. There's a way to battle that. And that comes through much fasting and prayer. I'm telling y'all. So it says he is drawn into obscene, erotic, or horrible scenes in which he even takes an active part. His moral condition is utterly deprived. You see that? So their goal is to break you down into immorality. That's because that's all they know. They want to see you in the spirit. And it's crazy. In the flesh, some of y'all, or not some of y'all, but some people or some of us may act out in the flesh, right? Sins. Now they get you on the spiritual side and make your sin, make your spirit sin as well too in your dreams. So they're covering, these demons are covering all grounds as far as how they're infecting mankind with immorality. It's not just in the physical, it's also in the spiritual too. Right? It says his moral condition is utterly deprived. He is a murderer, an adulterer, etc. These are things that are happening in your dream. In a word, nothing is too low or too horrible for such dreams. Right? It says now, look at this. It says now, in the demon dreams, which are always very near, before or after the lucid dream. So this is what happens in between. So when you're having a demonic dream or a nightmare, right? It leads to a lucid part of the dream where now you can make a decision if you're strong enough to either say, nah, hey, back off, or partake in their immorality, right? Before or after the lucid dreams. It says, I undergo, so this is his own experience. And I don't believe he was a Christian. He's not a Christian. Because he doesn't say that he was a Christian in this article, right? But there was a part where I found very interesting that even in his spirit dream, he understood to use the word of God, or he understood to use God as a form of defense against these demonic spirits. It says, now in the demon dreams, which are always very near, before or after the lucid dreams, I undergo similar attacks. But I see the forms, and remember we read earlier how they were saying sleep paralysis, your mind may hallucinate and see dark figures and hear voices. But here it is, he's explaining what he's seeing. He's seeing demons. He said, but I see the forms, the figures, the personalities of strange, non-human beings who are doing it. One night, for instance, I saw such a being going before me and soiling everything he touched, such as door handles and chairs. These beings are always obscene and lascivious and try to draw me into their acts and doings. So you see, their main purpose is to get you to sin in the spirit, to partake in their filth, because they know in a person's right mind, you would never do these things, never do these kind of acts while you're awake. You have to be totally possessed to partake in some of these things that they show in these dreams, right? It said, these beings are always obscene and lascivious and try to draw me into their acts and doings. They have no sex and appear alternately, sometimes as a man or a woman. This aspect is very various and variable, and changing every moment, taking all the fantastic forms that the old painters of the Middle Ages tried to reproduce, but with a certain weird plasticity or variability that no painting can express. So even in the Middle Ages, these painters would try to paint these images that they've seen in their dreams, these demonic images, right? It's crazy, right? And there was something else I wanted, the part that I wanted to show where right here. So this is an example, and like I said, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but you guys could go ahead and read it, right? Hold on, let me make sure. Is my sound coming in nice and clear? Let me know if my sound is coming in nice and clear before I continue. Is my sound coming in nice and clear? Type in the chat. Let me know what's going on, brothers and sisters. Let me see them qualms. In fact, let me see something. Let me see what's going on over here. Right? Okay, good. All praises, all praises. All right. So now he's gonna give a depiction of something that happened to him in March 30th, 1907 in Berlin. It says, I will describe one instance of these dreams, right, following immediately after a lucid dream. The lucidity, and mind you, he created this term. The lucidity had not been very intense, and I had some doubts about my real condition, right? It says, then all at once I was in the middle of demons, right? This is what he was dreaming. He said, I was in the middle of demons. Never before had I seen them so distinct. So I guess it was coming to a point where he was getting good at doing or dreaming or whatever he was dreaming. Right? He said, I have never seen them so distinct, so impertinent, so aggressive. One was slippery, shining, limp and cold like a living corpse. Another changed its face repeatedly and made the most incredible grimaces. One flew underneath me shouting an obscenity with a curious slang word. I defended myself energetically, but principally with invictus, right? Which I felt to be a weakness. I saw the words written. So now it says right here, the circle of demons was close to me and grinning like a mob of brutal street boys. So the demons surrounded him in his dream. This is what he's saying, right? Now, and like I said, I don't know if he was a Christian. He doesn't state that he was a Christian, but I found this part interesting right here. He says, I was not afraid, however, and said, even if you conquer me, this is what he says to them. Even if you conquer me, if God wills it, I do not fear. Then they all cried together like a ramble, and one said, let God speak then. So no, it says, let God then speak first. So now they're mocking him, and that's what they do, right? And then I thundered with all my might. He has spoken long since. And then I pointed at one of them, saying, you I know for a long time. And then pointing to another, and you. Then I awoke at once, and I believe I made some audible sound in waking up in the middle of my apostrophe. Right? He says, and then this will astonish you most. After this dispute, I felt thoroughly refreshed, cheered up, and entirely serene and calm. So he was able to rebuke those demons, those demonic entities in his dream. He built up enough power to do so. But he had to use the words of God to overcome them. He couldn't just overcome them just by himself. So he says, this is the principal difference from the symbolic dreams, that in the demon dreams, when I see the demons and fight them, the effect is thoroughly pleasing, refreshing, and uplifting. So, like I said, you guys could find this study, a study of dreams by Frederick von Eden, right? And read it through, right? So he went on a mission to try to figure out what was happening, what was this sleep paralysis. And he understood that during this sleep paralysis, during these stages of sleep, he was being met with demons. Okay? So brothers and sisters, you have to understand, one second. Brothers and sisters, you have to understand, you have to know that when you're experiencing these type of dreams, when you're going through these type of episodes, it's not all in your mind. It's not a figment of your imagination, because your imagination can only go as far as what you can perceive. Now it makes sense how all of these horror movies and these weird depictions of these characters and these evil entities, and where did people get these images from? The human mind cannot conceive those type of images. Demons. These filmmakers are being met with demons in their dreams, and they're showing them to the world. Demonic possession. That's what that is. Growing up, I remember being scared out of my mind watching A Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger. And how did Freddy Krueger attack the children? In their dreams. That's the only place where he had power. And you see, they put it in these movies, but as kids growing up, we couldn't connect it until we came into the truth. Right? So in A Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger only had power in their dreams, and every time they went into the dream, everything was all distorted, looking crazy. Nothing made sense. And boom, he would appear and I got you. Right? But then, and I remember there was one Nightmare on Elm Street where, the kids band together and they was able to have, they found power and they fought him in the dreams and overcame him. Right? Showing that in our mind, our minds are much more stronger than we give it credit, right? So now, let me do this now. Let's go into the scriptures. Now understanding that sleep paralysis is directly correlated and directly linked with demonic possessions, right? Or a demonic entity sending you these nightmares, trying to get you to partake with them in their immorality in the spirit. Wet dreams and all of these things is a demon. Understand that. And these type of dreams, you may think is pleasurable, but it's not. It's evil. It's not to be bragging about or to accept it and to feel good about it. These are demons. And you are to rebuke them. And to have them no more in your subconscious to influence it. Because that's all. Because they want to influence your conscience while you're awake, and they want to influence your conscience while you're asleep. To eventually get you to open up. Like, okay, I see this all the time. I might as well do it. Well, I dreamt about this. Maybe I'm supposed to do this. I dreamt about this. What is the first thing we ought to do? I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna pull out the Bible now. Hope y'all still with me here, right? We about to go all the way in now. Now we gotta understand how to fight. Some of us might still, some of you guys may be new in the truth or still working on how to be, Christ-like and how to strengthen your spirit, right? And you still don't know how to. And some of us, or some of you, might still be falling to these type of dreams, right? Or still maybe partaking in immorality in your sleep. It's crazy that we got that's a real thing, but it's real, yes. And some of us might, and some of you guys may be weak in that sense and still having trouble or having problems overcoming that part of your spirit. There's a way. Look, let's go to, I'm going to go to Ephesians chapter 6, right? And verse 10. Let's go through a couple of scriptures. Ephesians 6 and 10. It says, finally, my brethren, be strong. See that key word? Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Understand that once you are in Christ, once you have been baptized for the remission of your sins, there is a strength that we have to walk in, right? Understanding the God that we serve. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. We have to be strong in him. Complete faith and confidence to understand that you have the power to overcome demons. You do. If it wasn't true, I wouldn't tell you. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, not your own might, because you can't do it on your own. I'm telling you that right now. Even that Dutch guy, Frederick van Eden, he even understood that he had to use the word of God or God's words to put them under his feet, them demons. So we have to be strong in the power of his might, right? Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. This is the only way you're going to be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Not just in the physical, but also in the spiritual. Yes, in your sleep, you'll have power to overcome demons in your sleep. You'll be able to spot it out and not just let them overtake you, because they think they're stronger there, because they know that you don't know how to exercise your full strength in Christ. They know that. That's why they try to scare you with the sleep paralysis, hold you down, hearing sounds in the background and trying to suffocate the breath out of you. But really, they're only doing that because they're more so afraid of what you're going to become in Christ. It says, put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Why? Because in reality, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. You see, and this is what the scientists and the experts are not telling the population. They're telling these people with the sleep paralysis and all of that this is just a figment of your imagination. You're hallucinating. Yeah, your brain is just making you hear these things. Yeah, it's not real. Now the thing is, where did my brain see this to begin with? There must be a higher intelligence of a lower moral order that's producing these images in my mind. But they will never tell you that because they don't want you to understand that demons and God exists. But the scripture tells us, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. What is principalities? Spirits, right? High-ranking spirits, demons, goblins, right? Like they said in the etymology of the word. Against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness. You see that? Spiritual wickedness in high places. Understand that, brothers and sisters. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day or night, and having done all to stand. So it's upon you, brothers and sisters. It's upon you to master that, to stand in Christ's power, and to be able to fight, to withstand the wiles of the devil. Right? Look at this. I'm in Mark chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 17. And it says, and one of the multitudes answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which have a dumb spirit. So this boy was possessed with a demon. Right? And it says, and wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth and gnasheth with his teeth, and pineth away. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. He answered and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. And they brought him unto him, and when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed and foaming. Right? And it says, and he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, of a child. And oft time it hath cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Yeshua saith unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. So you, brothers and sisters, have the power to believe that Christ's power can help rebuke these spirits. Right? You have to believe. And straightway the father of the child crieth out and said with tears, Lord, I believe. Help thou my unbelief. You see, and if you leave it to this world, if you leave it to these doctors, if you leave it to these experts, you leave it to these scientists, they will help your unbelief. They will give you false diagnosis sometimes, right? They'll try to explain things off and not tell you about the spiritual aspect of why you're going through what you're going through, and aid your unbelief. But here it is, this man, he said, I believe, but help my unbelief. Because we all have unbelief sometimes, but you have to rebuke those thoughts. Right? So Christ charges the demon to come out. It says, and when Yeshua saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him and enter no more into him. Right? And I want to get to the kicker here. And he said, where is it? All right. And when he was come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, why could not we cast him out? They wanted to know. And he said unto them, this kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. So, brothers and sisters, if you're dealing with sleep paralysis, right? You're dealing with all of these things that's happening in your dream, and you're sinning in your dream and all of these things, and you want to stop. You have to start by praying and also fasting. What does fasting actually do? Fasting actually strengthens your spirit. You know, when Christ said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, right? Because we strengthen our flesh with everything that we see, with the material stuff, what we eat, all these things. But what are you doing to strengthen your spirit? When you fast, you're actually boosting your spirit's endurance to actually work while your flesh can't work anymore. That's why when Christ said man should not live by bread alone, that's a real thing. Because when you're depriving your body of food and nutrients, what kicks in? Your spirit. So basically the same way how you would exercise in the gym and lift weights, right? To train your body, you have to also exercise and train your spirit. And the only way you can do that is through fasting. And when you fast, I'm telling you, those sleep paralysis, you're going to start noticing it diminishing. And when these weird, crazy, wild dreams come, you'll have power in the spirit to rebuke them before it even starts. And then you're going to notice that you don't even going to have those dreams anymore, because your spirit, now there's no entry for those demons to come in while you're sleeping. You see that? And as far as dreams go, I got to read this as well too, just to show y'all not to get caught up in your dreams so much. Right? I'm in the book of Sirach, chapter 34. And it's like what what he was saying, that a lot of the images that and a lot of things that we see in our dreams are not produced from our own consciousness, but a highly intelligent consciousness. Okay? So you got to be very careful when it comes to dreams, not to lean on them as if that's the true word, that's what really is going to happen. And you're taking that information, because many has been led astray through that. Look, let me show you this. Look, I'm in Sirach chapter 34, and it reads, let me put it up on the screen for you guys. It says, the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. Right? Look at this. Whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind. You see that? So if you listen to anybody telling you, man, I had this dream and this is what the Most High is telling me to do, this is what the Most High is telling me to tell you, run as fast as you can the other way from that person. Because it says, whosoever regardeth a dream is like him that catcheth at a shadow. Can you catch a shadow? It's pointless to try to do that. Can you follow after the wind? It's pointless to do that. So basically saying it's pointless to follow these dreams as if it's a word from the Most High. Right? But you got to be very careful. It says, the vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. So sometimes you may have a dream is based upon what you've probably seen throughout the day, something that you was thinking about. So these images come forth in your dream. Right? So you could be able to distinguish a nightmare from just a regular ordinary dream. Because a nightmare, your mind is not producing those weird satanic demonic images. A demon is. So you got to understand that. Right? So now it says, of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what can be true? Or what truth can come? Right? It says, divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart fancieth as a woman's heart in travail. Right. So someone who's into soothsaying and tarot card reading and banking on a dream to give them an answer, it's vain. It's like a woman's heart in travail, right? Longing for something. It says, listen to this. It says, if they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not thine heart upon them. Right? So there's times where a Most High would send you a dream, but you have to understand how to discern between the two. Right? The Most High will never send you a dream that would lead you to sin or lead you to break a command. The Most High don't operate like that. Demons do, though. A demon will send you a dream and tell you, yeah, the Most High told me to break this commandment. Why would the Most High do that? The Most High cannot tempt man to do evil. There's no evil in him. So if you're gonna tell me that you had a dream and the dream told you to break a command that the Most High commanded, I'm already gonna look at you like, brother, you need to go on a fast. Sister, you need to go on a fast. That's a demon who told you to do what you're talking about right now. What? It says, if it be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not thine heart upon them. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. So we have to be very careful when it comes to dreams and understand how not to allow demons to continue to manifest immorality in your dreams. And the only way to do that is to first pray before you sleep, pray when you wake up, fast, read scripture. You understand? Even if you have to play scriptures while you're asleep, just have scriptures playing in the background, right? But you have to build up your spirit. And like how Christ said it, these do not come out but with much prayer and fasting. That's not just casting them out of somebody. That's also dealing with how demons deal with us. If demons is dealing with you in your sleep and they're troubling you, they're sending you nightmares and all of these weird stuff, that Christ is telling you the same way how he told the Pharisees and told the disciples, these demons don't come out without much prayer and fasting. That's the key on how to absolve yourself from sleep paralysis and all of these weird dreams with these demons that try to influence us into a low moral order. That's the key right there. It's not a pill. A pill is not going to make these dreams and these stuff go away. Drinking chamomile tea to make you sleep better is not going to it's not going to make them things go away. You have to build up your spirit. And if you're not, then they're going to continue to come in your sleep and to try to defile you in your sleep. So you have to pray against those things. You have to pray against them things. You have to fast against those things. You got to strengthen your spirit so your spirit can know how to operate even when your physical flesh is not operating. I'm telling y'all, you could be free from it. You can. You have to want the freedom from it though. And the thing is, these spirits, these demons, they understand that you have the power. You have to tell yourself from today, they no longer reign here. You have to spiritually fight against them and be able to call them out while you're even while you're in the dream. You'll be able to do that, but you have to strengthen your spirit. You have to fast. You have to pray. Pray more. Pray without ceasing. Right? 1 Thessalonians 5:17. Right? Pray without ceasing. Right? So, brothers and sisters, understand that sleep paralysis is not something that is a normal thing. It's not normal. Understand that. Understand that sleep paralysis is not a normal thing. We at war, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. For we battle not against flesh and blood. This war ain't about the physical. If they can't get you in the physical, they're gonna get you in the spiritual, in your mind, in your dreams, while you sleep. We gotta pray against these things. We gotta ward them off. All right. What time is it? All right. I'm gonna open up the lines. I'm gonna do that real quick. I'll open up the lines for about 15 minutes. Right. I'm on a tight schedule, brothers and sisters. But I'm gonna open the lines for 15 minutes, and let's talk about it. Understanding sleep paralysis. Do you now understand sleep paralysis? Do you have a better understanding of how to ward off these evil spirits, to fight against them? Let's talk about it. 646-439-6959, 646-439-6959, brothers and sisters. Let's talk about it. Call in and let's talk about it. Open up the lines, man. This is such a great show, and I really truly hope that, you know, we have some understanding, and we're able to, or my brothers and sisters are able to fight against these demonic entities, man. I'm telling you, don't let them win. Do not let them win. They don't have as much power as you think. I'm telling you. Right? You can control that part of your consciousness. You don't have to allow their consciousness to you don't have to allow them to overtake you. Hold on real quick. All right, got the first caller calling in. All right, so got area code 678. Who am I speaking with? Shalom.
Shalom, brother. This brother Kapayam.
What's going on, brother?
North Carolina body.
What's going on, brother Kapayam? How you doing?
How you doing, man? Hey, this is a bad broadcast tonight, man.
All
Ain't
praises.
gonna lie.
Yeah, man. All praises.
All praise to the Most High. Yeah, man. That sleep paralysis. See, you know what's crazy is now I'm understanding now more, being this truth about just what it is, because see, I think a couple years back before I came in the truth, I was asleep, and it was just like it was crazy because I felt myself going into it. You know what I mean? But and of course I was calling on Jesus at the time. I didn't, I wasn't in the truth, but I was calling on God. And then I came out. So then I was okay, and like 2 minutes later I laid back down to go back to sleep, and then it happened again. It was like I was stuck, and I could not move, and I knew something was in the room. So it was like the second time, the struggle to kind of get out of it, because it was a real struggle. Like I couldn't, I was kind of getting some feeling back in my body. And when I finally came, got back out of it the second time, I had to stay up for like an hour or so to just make sure I was on point, because I didn't understand, and I told my friend at the time, I was like, I told my homie, I was like, next time I was gonna face my fear and just let whatever happen instead of trying to get out of it.
Right.
But that was just ignorance. I thought it was just like something I was just scared of, and that I just didn't want to embrace. But now, knowing that it's actually a demonic possession, I'm glad that I haven't had any after that experience a few years ago. But that sleep paralysis, praise the Most High, man. These dreams, it's crazy because see, a lot of scientists, that's one thing they can't really they can't really fully explain. Like they can't really give you any sort of truth, because like how the Bible states, the Most High, he speaks to us in our dreams. So he communicates, and also to not get caught up in it. And how you bringing out how the demons, they kind of force this collusion into our dreams that our minds don't conceive. So I mean, I just want to say, I'll praise to the Most High, man. This lesson was on point, because Elder Alhana down here in North Carolina, I think we did last Sabbath. We were talking about sleep paralysis, so it was just, it's on point. Everything's kind of tying into this,
right?
So I'm glad that people are getting some truth. Praise the Most High.
All praises, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. But I'm happy that you was able to overcome that. But continue to strengthen your spirit, man. That's where it is. You got to strengthen your spirit. You know what I mean? Try to
I appreciate it.
Yeah, keep fasting. Fast once a week. Even intermittent fasting helps. You know what I'm saying? Something where you're not always relying on the flesh. You're allowing your spirit to kick in too. That's what strengthens your spirit. So praise the Most High. So Brother Khayyam, I appreciate you for calling in. It's always a pleasure, my brother.
Shalom.
All right, shalom. All right, I got another caller calling in. Hold on real quick. Let me get you here. Area code 667.
Shalom, Deacon Hazak. This is Sister Day from the DMV.
What's going on, Sister Danita? How you doing? Shalom, sis.
I'm good. Shalom. Again, great topic as always. Our deacons talked about this, but you really went into depth tonight to really break it down and explain. Thanks for the edification, because it just brought me back to when I was younger, growing up. I couldn't sleep when I was young. And my parents, it's so crazy because I look back on it, because I used to beat my head to go to sleep. Like, I couldn't go to sleep. And I think that stemmed from a lot of movies that I watched, horror movies.
Yeah.
My dad used to force us to watch horror when we was young. So mine was from the age of 2 and up. So it started early.
You see? And you see, this is why I don't allow my children to watch horror films and scary, because why? That's inputting those images in their minds.
Exactly. And you talked about Nightmare on Elm Street, and my thing was like, I wasn't scared of him, but I was scared of like Trolls, the movie Trolls. And I watched The Shining when I was a kid too, and I was a little scared of that because it showed like the dad being possessed and everything. But I didn't understand it when I was young. But now that I'm older, I get the true understanding of what that was. And like you were saying, like the Most High, He speaks to you too when you strengthen your spirit, which a lot of people don't understand that. But getting to the meat of it, with The Shining, it represented spiritually. The shining in the little boy represent the light in him that the demons could see. So when the father got possessed, he got possessed because he pulled away from his wife and child and focused more on working and being a part of the world.
Right.
So when the older black man was teaching the little boy how to come back and how to lock them spirits away, he was Judah teaching Esau. So that's the spiritual part of the movie that I didn't get when I was a kid. But now that I came into the truth, that understanding opened up for me. So basically, the demons can see the light in us, and they want to snuff it out.
Definitely.
They want to. So that's how deep that is. They show us in movies different things that we don't understand, especially horror movies, if you pay attention, and not to look at it as entertainment or fear.
Right.
Because they're more afraid of us than we are of them.
Definitely.
If we build our spirit man or spirit woman through fasting and praying, through reading our Bible and praying without ceasing. They can't destroy you in your dreams when you sleep or when you're awake.
Con.
So
Definitely. Well, definitely appreciate the call. Definitely appreciate the edification. I'm going to get to these other calls too, but it's always a pleasure speaking to you, Sister Danita. All praises.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom. All right. So I do apologize. Okay, I got all of these numbers calling. I got 501. I'm getting you right now. 501. Can you hear me? Okay. And you know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do because I need a better system of calls, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a Zoom link. It's going to be even better. I'm going to set up, most high willing, next week. I'm going to set up a Zoom link, right? And then in the Zoom link, you'll be able to hit the Zoom link, wait in the queue. If you want to have a question, whatever cases you want to talk, you put a thumbs up or raise your hand, and I'll click on it like that instead of having everybody just calling at the same time, because I don't have a waiting system. But, nonetheless, 314 area code. Shalom.
Hey, Shalom.
Who am I speaking with?
Hi, my name is Sierra.
How you doing, Sierra? Shalom.
Shalom. I was just calling in to give my testimony dealing with sleep paralysis. When I was in college, I used to get attacked heavily, real bad. And it wasn't until I came into the truth that I was able to get more understanding. Because in college, you have access to so much sin. I had joined the sorority and, doing things that you do when you're in the college world. And so I remember having a spiritual friend on campus, and I would talk to him about, the sleep paralysis attacks and things like that. And I remember he came and prayed over my dorm room, but even with that prayer, I was still under attack. So after coming to the truth, I got more clarification because I wasn't linking it to the sin that I was doing, which is why I was getting attacked.
Right.
And even being in the truth, I remember the first time when I had got baptized, and I could literally feel the spirit as I'm about to try to drift off into sleep. That's how keen I would get to it. Like I could feel when the attack was about to happen, and I couldn't stop it. But when I got baptized, I said a higher by me shot, and the spirit fled away.
All praises be to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High. And then, of course, being in this walk, you stumble. So I stumbled. And when you stumble, it's almost like you have to earn the Most High trust back from which you failed. You know what I'm saying? So I was getting attacked then, too. And I would call on the Most High name. But sometimes, there's a scripture, I believe, in Joseph where the Most High say that he'll try the inclination of the soul, like he'll leave for a little while. He'll give a little space to the party, and he'll try the inclination of the soul.
Yeah, the wisdom of Solomon.
Yes, the wisdom. Yeah, is that the wisdom of Solomon? Okay, I apologize about that. But yeah, just showing yourself approved in all, temptations and things like that, and just staying fervent in the spirit, and also even with the spirit of gluttony, sleep paralysis will creep up on you like that as well. And I noticed that because of how you eating late at night and things like that, and then you're going to sleep, so your flesh is shutting down at that point. And so now you're not in a position to be able to war spiritually, because now you're in a weakened state.
Right.
And so the spirits will try to get you that way too. So but that's the testimony I wanted to give. All praises to the Most High. And like I said, it links to, it could be some type of sin that you're doing that's bringing on those attacks. So, just be watchful and prayerful. Because once you're baptized, it's like the battle kicks up a whole notch. And we got to be on alert mode. So I appreciate you accepting my call. I just wanted to share.
All right. The water, Sister Sierra. Appreciate you. Bless you.
All right.
All right. I think I got you. I think I finally got you now. This is 501 area code, and I seen 414. I seen you calling. I'll call you back right after this one. So 501, who am I speaking with?
Yeah. Brother Edward.
Brother who?
Arkansas. Edward.
Brother Edward. Shalom. How you doing?
Yeah. Shalom. Yeah, I was able to catch the last part of the broadcast. And I've, throughout the years have kind of been struggling with that same topic when it comes to that. And now, from now on, I haven't fasted in a while. But I do notice that certain times throughout the day that I can, I'll go to sleep or just take a short nap in between whatever I'm doing, and I'll have something very similar as to, but what I'm dealing with is more explicit in nature. When you go into those, what we would call like those succubus periods and whatnot, they I would say entice us through our dreams as well. And I don't expect it to happen all of the time, but it does happen more often throughout the years. It has, because during the first time, I didn't know what it was until I looked into it, and I found out that we do have those type of spiritual monsters. So when it comes,
have you been fasting, brother?
I haven't. I'll pray. I'll pray most times. But I know, that's not the whole answer as to when you want to come back against those type of spirits. So that'll be something that's I know that you said is necessary, and it is a month.
It's actually a requirement, because that's the only way. That's the only thing that's going to help you ward off these attacks, right? Like I said, growing up, we used to think that these things was normal, having these type of weird erotic dreams and or even feeling this paralysis. We couldn't explain it, but it's actually demonic attacks while we're sleeping, and you do have the power to in Christ to actually ward off these spirits, but you have to start by cleaning up your act first. You gotta go to the Most High in prayer. And you have to learn to fast. I'm not telling you to fast for a whole 7 days. Start slowly. You know what I'm saying? Start by doing, all right, from these particular hours, I'm not gonna eat, and then pick it up until you're strong enough to be like, you know what? I'm not gonna eat for the whole day or 24 hours, from sundown to sundown again the next day. Strengthen your spirit. You have to learn, because of course, you're not going to be able to do it straight if your spirit is weak. Your spirit doesn't really know how to do it. So you have to actually help your spirit fast. You have to teach it. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same way how you train your muscles in the gym. You lift weight. You want to learn to run a mile. Is endurance. You know what I'm saying? You run a couple of meters one day, and you just increase that by little. It's the same thing with the spirit. It works the same way. But you have to have, you got to have the willingness, the endurance, like in sports. You got to do the same thing in the spirit.
Since you said that, Elder, throughout my whole time of understanding the truth of the Bible and who we are, which was about maybe about 8 to 9 years ago. I noticed, you can start out quite fervent,
right?
And this is my shortcoming. This is my shortcoming. No one, I don't hold this for myself. As far as staying, being steadfast. But I noticed that I used to have those same encounters, and immediately, as soon as it started, immediately I could. There was power when I first came into the knowledge of the truth. But as you get complacent with it, and you happen to even go back into some of your the old man way.
Yeah.
Then even knowing, even though you know the truth, that power isn't there because you still have that old man that is still in the way, and there's there's just not, the power isn't there.
Brother,
they operate freely.
Let me read this to you real quick. In Revelations chapter 2, verse 5. You have to understand this too, because you said it yourself. You said when you first came in, the power, the strength that you had, the zeal that you had, you was able to ward off these spirits in with the blink of an eye. But then as you started regressing, you're finding it a struggle. This is what Christ said in Revelations 2, verse 5. He says, "Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent." So you have to understand, like even all of us, we all go through it in this truth, right? We get complacent. We feel like, oh, it's the same repetitive thing, but you can never lose sight of why the Most High called you, why Christ called you to this. That same zeal, that same fire that you had from when you first came in, you can never lose that. Always think about that. Always remember how you felt when you first got this truth, and allow that to carry you on, brother. Because I'm telling you, you can't lose sight of the mission. You can't lose sight of it. You can't allow the cares and the struggles of this world choke the truth out of you, like the parable of the seed and the sower, like Christ said it. You can't allow this world to remove you away from what Christ is trying to bring you. You have to fight. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's only because this is only happening because you're allowing your flesh to overpower your spirit. You got to find the time, even like you got to even link in with the brothers in your congregation, linking with brothers, study groups, like how you on the broadcast right now. Try to tune into all of the broadcasts throughout the week. Try to keep your spirit fed, right? While you're driving, play the audio Bible. Try to keep yourself in the spirit, brother. I'm telling you, because this world will do that to you. I'm not gonna lie. This world will beat us up. It will make us feel like, yo, dang, I'm exhausted. I just want to just chill. I just want to just lay back and drink a beer or something. But you can't allow your flesh in its weak moments to be vulnerable, to allow it to remove the spirit of the Most High from you. You gotta fight.
Yes, I appreciate it now. I'll definitely be doing those things.
That's why Christ said, "He that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved." So we got to endure. You got to endure. You know what I'm saying? Do your best to endure, my brother. What's your name?
I got you. Edward.
Edward. I'm a deacon, by the way. Edward.
Deacon. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Edward, brother Edward, okay, from Arkansas.
Correct.
I'm gonna be praying for you, man. I'm gonna make sure I say mention you.
If you ever have the time, you call me offline, and I can go into some other details as to what I'm trying to steadily come deal with whatnot.
All right. Well, this is your number, the 501, right? That's your number, right? You don't got to recite it, but I got it here. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll most high willing, I'll try to give you a call tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, brother Edward.
Okay.
I'll try to give you a call tomorrow. No problem. Shalom, my brother.
Shalom.
All right. All right. I promised 414 that I would call. So I'm going to call 414, and I see 267 calling. So I'm going to call 414 first, and then I'm going to get 267 area code, and I think that'll be it. Okay, 414 area code. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, my name is Charlotte. Shalom, brother. How you doing?
Shalom, Charlotte. I seen you calling. I'm sorry I couldn't get to you sooner, but I see you.
That's okay. That's okay. You know, I'm old school, and I didn't know if I was doing it right or whatever. I never called live before.
Oh, praise the Most
And so,
High.
but I felt compelled to call when I seen the title. You know, I'm old school. You know, over the years, I've had a lot of these experiences. I'm 61, and I remember one time it happened, and I'm like, Father God, why is this happening? You know, because you feel like you have the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And you're like, you know, well, why is this happening? I thought I was, you know, but you just answered my question with the last caller where you mentioned the beer drinker. I'm a beer drinker. You know, I go to sleep sometimes. I go to sleep with scriptures and everything. But one time this happened to me, and I was asleep. And I was laying on my left side, and I actually felt something crawl in the bed with me. And I tried to turn around to see what it was, but I couldn't move.
Couldn't see, right.
Right, my eyes was open, and I felt the cold wind, like, and I'm trying to turn to see if my window open or the door open. And immediately, I started to screaming in my head because I couldn't speak.
Right.
God, Father God in heaven, help me. Jesus, help me. Lord, help me. And then whatever had hold of me, it was saying, it said, be quiet. And I started screaming even louder. You know, Jesus, Father God, help me, help me. And as soon as I kept doing that, then I came to. And I woke up and I sat on the side of the bed. And I laughed. I'm like, how dare he tell me to be quiet? Because I heard it clear as day, be quiet. You know, and I just screamed even louder. But let me ask you this, okay? Because I was told once, too, that sometimes when that happens, when you have the sleep paralysis, it's like sometimes that you sleep and you have your legs crossed a certain way or whatever, and they cut off your circulation. Have you ever heard that?
I never heard of I never heard of that. And I'm not sure if that causes it, but that would be like a scientific way of explaining how those things come. There's no telling on how it comes or when it's gonna come, but the fact that that it does come, that's a sign for all of us to understand there's a demonic presence in the room operating. So,
and I'll say this too, because I can say this, that I thank God that I pray in my dreams. You know, when I'm having some kind of demonic dream, I'm always praying, and that, you know, that helps me. And I've had sexual dreams before, which is like almost so real, but I always came to before, you know, for whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
those are all demonic attacks as well too. So.
Oh yes, I believe that wholeheartedly. What I would do, I'll make sure that I just, you know, I think in some instances I may have been, you know, sleeping naked. You know, because of, you know, heat, hot flashes and stuff.
Right.
But now I don't do that. I cover myself totally because I don't want to give them, you know, I don't want to be what's the word? I just want to be an object. You know, they might be seeking out who they can find.
Right.
So I make sure that, you know, I'm fully dressed and covered. But I thank God that I have the sense to pray in my dreams.
Praise Him.
And I thank you for your topic tonight. And I'm not going to keep you because there's others. But I'm excited that I was able to get through. And I thank you. And I'm going to pray God to continue to use you.
Oh, praise the Most High. Oh, praise the Most High. And bless you too, sister. But continue to fight in the spirit. Strengthen up your spirit. You know, allow the Most High, you know, ask the Most High prayer. Pray continually. Pray before you go to bed, right? And specifically ask that to rebuke any spirits in the room, anything that may be watching. We have that power. You understand? Through Christ.
Yeah. You know, this is new to me, like I said, doing a live call, and this is tripping me out just be able to see you on TV because I watch you for TV.
Oh yeah.
You know, I love what you're doing.
Oh, praise
and I look forward for the Zoom class. Yeah.
That's that. I'm gonna set that up. I'm gonna have to set that up. Look like next week because, you know, I will just have everybody in the queue, and if I'll just click on whoever I need to come in or whatever the case is, you know.
Okay,
So,
keep doing what you're doing.
Praise the
Bless
Most
the
High.
minute.
All right, bless you, sis. Have a good night.
You too. Thank
All
you.
right. Man, the Most High is bringing deliverance, man. And you see, if we don't talk about these things, we'll write it off as, oh, it's just a dream. Oh, it's normal. No, it's not normal. These demons do not have any place in our rooms, in our minds, especially in our minds. Like, don't come in my mind and try to influence my, you know what I'm saying, what I'm dreaming about, what I'm thinking about. So, we gotta have more control. I did promise 267 area code. I'm gonna call 267 area code back. 267 area code. Right? Let's see. Two six seven area code.
Your message for.
Oh, okay, 267 didn't pick up. This was your time to shine, 267. All right, I had another call coming in too. It looked like a foreign number, plus 64 210. Right? But you know, all in all, this was definitely a great broadcast, and I really do hope and pray that the people who fall upon this are able to understand what this is and not accept these type of dreams, these type of things that's happening to us in our sleep. The Most High gave us the power. Christ gave us the power to ward these things off, to fight against these things, man. So we gotta do our part. You know what I'm saying? The power is there, but we gotta do our part. You understand? In aiding our spirit, to overcome these things in our spirit. I'm gonna try to call you back again, 267. Right? Okay. 267 area code. Shalom. Hello? 267? I don't hear 267. 267 area code. Okay, going once, going twice. 267. All right. We're looking like. Hold on, was there somebody else? All right, well, it's looking like this could be the end of the show. So what time is it? It's after 9:30. It's been a great show. We spoke about a lot, and I believe that through this broadcast, a lot of information was shared, a lot of information was brought out, and a lot of people are able to find deliverance through this. Brothers and sisters, like we read it, I'm gonna read it again one last time. In Ephesians chapter 6. Read it one last time. Oh, here it goes. I'm gonna read it one last time. I got you, 267. I got you on hold. Just don't go nowhere. Read this one last time. Right? Finally, my brethren. Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, and put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Right? 267 area code. 267, you're on.
Hello?
Hey. Who am I speaking with?
Hey. My name is Rosie.
Your name is Rosie?
Yes.
How you doing? Shalom.
I'm all right. Shalom. Brother, I have a question.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So, I would like to know, does spirit cooking, does it align with your
Spirit cooking? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
That's when women be cooking up them meals and putting their menstrual in the food. That's what you're talking about?
Well, I mean, perhaps, but in my experience, I've been dreaming of people who I may watch on YouTube, but I never met them, but I'm dreaming of them constantly.
You say you're dreaming of people from on Instagram?
Yes.
Like what do you mean you're dreaming of people? Like what do you mean? Like celebrities?
Well, YouTube celebrities. Yes.
YouTube celebrities. Like you're dreaming about meeting them?
No, like I know them already, and we're together, and we're doing things like we always knew each other, but I never met them.
Right. Well,
I'm wondering if that's the form.
No, what that is just your mind just showing you a visitation of something that you've already seen, something that's already on your mind. So it's not necessarily that you know them or your spirit telling you that you already know them in the future. That's just your consciousness, right? Just giving you an image of what you're desiring. You understand? So what you want to do is you want to try to, you want to try to lay off on social media, right? Because maybe you're intaking too much to the point where it's your desire now is coming forth in your dreams. That's basically what that's saying. You dreaming about, because like I've had dreams where I've met celebrities, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna meet them in the future. That's just my mind relating something to me in something that I understood. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand that perspective, but I'm not dreaming of multiple YouTube celebrities. I'm dreaming of one specifically, constantly, and I don't engage in like the entertainment purpose on YouTube. I engage in information, especially biblical. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure if it really applies to me.
So is a particular YouTube celebrity that you just keep dreaming about?
Yes.
And have you watched this particular person's show before, or?
I have. I seen the transform from when they was just like a regular YouTuber to now a celebrity YouTuber. Yeah, so I don't watch them anymore.
Right, but this is somebody that you used to follow. You followed their path, basically. Right. Yeah, that's all it is. That's just your mind is just relating to you something in your subconscious and just bringing it forth in a dream. And you gotta understand, you cannot allow that image to lead you astray or have you think that you know this person or you're gonna meet this person. It's just a dream. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so don't put too much thought into that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like we read earlier, the scripture tells us that a lot of people become deceived by dreams. So someone who's following a dream is like someone who's trying to catch a shadow. Right? So you got to be very careful, because sometimes dreams can definitely come from demons, and dreams can also come from the Most High. So you gotta understand and be level-headed when it comes to dreams, right? And just understand that, and you should know that there's no way possible that you could be in the same presence as that person. You never, like, are you in the same city as that person, that so-called celebrity?
No.
Right. So what are so now, in all honesty, what are the chances of you actually running into this person? Like, I always wanted to meet Michael Jackson. Like,
yeah, it depends on how I believe how much energy I put behind wanting to meet them because these celebrities they're
you said what?
events.
Your phone is cutting up. Your phone is cutting up. You said these celebrities what?
I was saying these celebrities they have shows and events that if I wanted to meet them or pursue to meet them, then I could have.
Yeah, that is possible, but you gotta spend hundreds of dollars just to book a flight, then to book a ticket, then to book a room and a car. And do you really want to go through all that just to meet this person that's just on a screen talking?
No, I never desired it.
Oh, okay.
In which I've come to know for myself. I never desired it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, like I said, try not to put too much thought into you having that dream. Definitely pray about it and ask the Most High to help those dreams stop. You understand what I'm saying? Or just if they come, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. Don't put too much thought into it.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I appreciate it.
No
Thank
problem,
you.
sis. No problem. You have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right. Yeah, man. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. All praises be to the Most High. Ahaya Bashim Yeshaya Wakwadash. Okay, I've been on longer than expected, but and what I'm gonna try to do too is I'm gonna try to start the show a little bit earlier, so that way we could take calls a little earlier. Or maybe I'll just do a designated show where just open up the lines and we'll just chop it up like that. Okay, this is the last caller. I seen this person calling 705 area code. This is gonna be the last call of the night. 705 area code. Who am I speaking with? 705.
Hello?
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 You're live. Born to Levi Experience.
Oh, shalom.
Shalom.
This is Sister Gerlin, Sarah Israel.
Oh, Sister Gerlin, shalom. How you doing?
I'm good. From the Toronto buddy, Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. So I was listening to the sister earlier about the food thing. So like coming from Haiti, one thing we always know is like dreaming about food is not. Sometimes it's not a good thing. Like dreaming of somebody coming in and give you food. Sometimes it's always be a familiar spirit or something coming and give you something to eat. Sometimes it might be like it's not a good thing. They always say that. I don't know if you know about that, but it's one thing. Growing up, they always tell you if you in your dream you see somebody coming and give you something to eat, don't eat it,
right?
Because it might be it might be a spirit, a familiar spirit, or somebody want to attack you spiritually or something like that, and then you eat it. Then after that, you fall sick or something.
Yeah. You guys gotta be very careful what you accept in these dreams and stuff like that. But once you're baptized for the remission of your sins, and we got the blood of Christ on us, none of those things have power over anything that we do. So I always understand it as well, brothers and sisters. Nothing has power more than Christ.
Yeah, you covered.
Khan.
Yes, you covered.
Khan.
You covered by the blood of Yeshaya. And even like for the sleep, like when you are sleeping and stuff like this also, and you cannot
the sleep paralysis, you can't move.
Yeah. So there's also back in Haiti, I used to experience that a lot. Then after that, I think like coming in the U.S., I used to I used to experience that, but like because where I was living, it was among those like I think the I might like the East Indian, a lot of East Indian and Chinese, you know, these people, the doing like the with the gods and stuff like this, what the worship and stuff like that. I think it's like it's like in this area when I was living in, just like this is like open door for that. But since I come in the truth, I think, and then you know, back in Haiti, when you do that, they always tell you to just say the the Borgia name and the name of yeah. So and you will be okay. Then yeah, then you will do that. Then that you'll be okay. But I used to do that. Then I'll be fine. But coming the truth, I think only once, because I come in the truth and like I get baptized in 2017. So since that, I think maybe once I get that, then I call in the name of Yeshaya. Then I never get that since.
Praise the Most High.
So anyway, so because I think whatever it is, they have like the like you know the spirit. They have like those different the different power. So the Caesar the Borgia name and stuff like this. So when you call on that name, it's a higher power for them.
Right.
But when you call in Yeshaya, so it's get it out.
Get it out completely,
like
Khan.
So,
right, because there's power in his name, the highest name.
Oh, sure.
The only name that could save.
Sure.
But praise the Most High. I appreciate you calling in. I also appreciate your music as well too. So praise the Most High for that too.
all praises. All praises.
Yeah, definitely. So all right, the water for calling in, sister.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Sister Gerline.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. My sister. All right. So it looks like that's the show, brothers and sisters. It is now 9:59, which is 10 p.m. You might as well just round up to the nearest number, to the nearest whole number, right? So it's now 10 p.m. and I appreciate you guys coming in. Like we do every week.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi Experience.
Appreciate you, brothers and sisters, for coming in. All praises be to the Most High. I hate to do this, but it got to be done. So once again, we want to give all praises to the Most High, Ahaya Ba'ashim Yeshai Ruach for such a great broadcast. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you guys for all the information that you guys shared. For the testimonies and for the deliverance to come in Yeshua's mighty name. And I'm praying for that for those of you guys who are watching. I know that deliverance is coming, and you got to seek it though, right? You got to seek it, right? Don't allow these spirits to put you in fear, right? We have power to place them in subjection and to put them right in the place where they belong, right? But you have to fight. You have to muster up the courage, fast and pray, and allow the Most High to fight, because it's like the scripture says, you have not because you ask not. So we have to ask in Yeshua's mighty name to rebuke these demons, right? So with that being said, shalom, peace and blessings. Stay prayed up. Definitely stay prayed up. Definitely stay prayed up and sin not until we see Zion, if it be the Lord's will. Shalom. Bless you. Love you all. Good night.